That's right, I'm back. Yeah, took a little break. Now I need to talk about this. I've wasted 40 years of my life. Yeah, some could say that, obviously the first couple of years don't really matter, but a lot of things that I've learned and why just the whole pursuit of Western ideas just completely, utterly are shattered when you bring Islam in. 40 years of my life took me to find Islam. And before all that time, just a vast amount of just trash and garbage that they put upon you. The pursuit of where money is most important on there. That's all you have to do. Then they push everything from all these social norms are supposedly acceptable in this quote unquote Christian country. Gambling, drinking, dating, all this other stuff on there that just, well, they don't really bring any value to it. I spent so much time trying to pursue this quote unquote American dream, spending my time and energy to making it happen. And now looking back, just how much time I gave up on that for nothing. How much time I gave up that I could have spent with now my oldest daughter, who will become an adult very, very, very soon. Times I could have been there for her, times that I could have, times that she needed me that I wasn't there because I was so focused on what Western world tells me it is what I need to do to be valuable. How much time I gave up, time that I can never get back. I mean, time is really the equalizer of everything. You can never get your time back. You know, time that I could have spent with my ex-wife, it could have changed the outcome on that. But no, I was trying to do this pursuit that was ingrained in me that well, ultimately didn't bear any fruit and give me anything from it. And so many things that are still being just pushed even on the Ummah with the stupid red pill crap, which is pretty much the same thing, only now you just have to sleep around. And now all of these content creators were it's just red pill becoming Islam edition, adding more to it. It's just the fascination of always wanting this Western values on there, which only thing that brings is just death and destruction. It doesn't bring anything good at all. And we see it every day. We see how many young women are now just prostituting themselves. And funny enough, the way OnlyFans makes a lot of money is because they also become pimps. Because it becomes like a big pyramid scheme where they, in turn, are getting girls to go into the platform so they can get a cut of what they make. And I gave all this time where I could have focused on what was really important, and that was my kids and my family. And alhamdulillah, I'm grateful when Islam came to my life, because I was a very dark and really bad point in my life where I was able to not just mend with my daughter, but have beautiful years where we're growing closer than ever before, where she becomes I could see the blossoming of a beautiful young adult. And now have my young daughter, which I focus so much on, not just time that she spends with me, what we do, but also her knowing how important, God is, how important Allah is in our lives. And sometimes I wish I had that with my oldest. I wish I was there more with her. I wish I was there to protect her more. But alhamdulillah, in the 3 years of being a Muslim, at least I had that time to, really get as close as possible with her. And it has brought a lot of great fruit. But just how silly all this pursuit is for all these things that ultimately, when you die, you can't take him with you. And ultimately, when I talk to so many people who are my age or older, whether they came from money or not, memories, how it was with their parents, is what really sticks with them the most. Not how much money they had, how many things they bought. No, it was the day to day, the little things, the walk in parks, the talks, the sitting down and watching a movie, eating together, and how grateful I am to really have something that has completely grounded me and has forced me to really reject all of this nonsense that are supposed to be part of this Christian Western world. And it's just amazing to me how the Ummah more and more now they still want so much of that, so much of that which there's no fruit. It doesn't give anything good at all. And I just wonder how many years of their life are they going to waste? How many years pretending like Allah will not come, to ask questions about this in the day of judgment. How many, there's no, the fear of Allah is completely almost vanished. And now they pretend as if bringing all these Western values into like that's something that he wanted, and it's not. We see the decline of the West every day. We see how this system is now meant to extract every single ounce of your energy, wealth, and time all the way to your death, so you're left with nothing, nothing at all. And that is what we are told is the best way to live. So I'm glad. I'm even glad that I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot for Allah to come before account from me. And being like this forces me to live humbly. I get to not just that, it makes every little thing I do with my kids even that much more important. It makes that much more rewarding, you know. And my kids are happier. They're happier even though that I have very little. I can give them very little when it comes to material, but what I can give them, and I do, is my time. When I'm with them, 100% of my time is for them and for them alone. Nobody else. Regardless of what else is going on in my life, it's the value of time, the value of how important it is to give that time to what's important. My relationship with my parents, it's the greatest it's ever been, with my brothers, my neighbors, and I don't think people realize just how important time is. It's almost like we live in this time where we think time is infinite or we always have more time, but we don't know when our time is about to expire. And I'm glad I get to put my forehead to the ground. I get to say, glorified is He, the Most High, Allah. And I get to see have my kids see me glorify the one God. They get to see, my change. And it's funny because I didn't even notice it, but they did. My daughters do. And I do everything. The entire time, everything I do, okay, how much more time can I spend with them? Sure, I could do things so I don't have, so I could have more quote me time. But what is this me time? It should be their time, and I spend all of it because the Quran teaches me they have a right over me. So living with those values that people want to hate so much about has made me completely give away all this Western trash and focus on what's really most important in my life. My walk with Allah, my parents, my family, my kids. And afterwards, really, is there anything else that's even remotely that important? Is there really? Is money and the pursuit of money really that important? People say that, oh, people that say this are just poor. But I've met a lot of people with a lot of money. I met millionaires um, in my life. I've talked to them on it, and they don't seem any happier. So a lot of them seem miserable. A lot of them, their kids are just, they're not close with their kids. They don't have a relationship with them. And let's not talk about what's going on. You can see in the entertainment world, and those families are just a mess. It's just something that I'm like, wow. Maybe Allah was guarding me from all that, and I I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I don't have to worry about those sort of things. Thankful for that because my daughter has such a good relationship with her father that all this craziness that these girls are now, she doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't. And it has to do, in fact, because she has a stable, strong father figure in her life. And where does she get that? She get that from me reading the Quran, following the Sunnah of the Prophet, praying and focusing on what's important because that's what Allah demands from me. Christianity never doesn't demand anything from you. There's no demands from you, nothing at all. Everybody just lives a life that you can't tell a Christian from a non-Christian. I mean, you see all the things from the church and everything else on it. Everything's in disarray. Is become this secular thing that may or may not have something to do with some scriptures where everybody knows it's already been doctored, changed, and so on. And I am thankful for Allah that I don't have to worry about these things. I am thankful that even though I wasted 40 years of my life, all that has brought me to a place of understanding, of a deeper understanding than most never get to. I am thankful that I'm on a path where my daughters are being raised well, healthy, and with morals, and they have somebody they can look up to. I am thankful that I have learned not just the importance of my time, but how my time should be used because that's what Allah wants me to do. So even though I've wasted 40 years of my life, I am thankful for that because that brought me to this place. And at the end of the day, what I really just, I guess, I ponder is how many years will you waste? How many years will you waste in all this, all these worthless pursuits that actually ultimately, even if you do attain them, it's not going to bring you any more happiness. It's no guarantee that's going to bring you a fulfillment, and I can guarantee you that, well, you won't be able to take it with you to your grave. But what you can take is the knowledge of knowing that the people that you love the most, not only were they taken care of, but you gave them the best thing you could give them, and that is your time. Hope you guys like this video, and until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.